There you have it, national anthem being sung out. A nice student performance here tonight to get the opening night underway. We'll turn it over to the public address announcer. Here are the starting lineups for Hopkins and Totino Grace. And there you have it, starting lineups being announced by the public address. Jam-packed gymnasium here at Totino Grace to kick off high school basketball here in Minnesota this season. Hopkins ranked number 3 in the preseason 4A poll. Totino ranked number 1 in the Class 3A poll, in a big-time non-conference collision here tonight between the Eagles and the Royals. We'll show you those starting lineups. There you saw them up there on the board. As both teams back in the huddle, Nick Carroll giving the final address to his Eagles, coming off their 3rd consecutive state title. Ken Novak and the assistant coaches talking to their 5 Hopkins Royals starters coming off a section final loss to Wayzata a year ago. The Royals finished 23-6. The Eagles finished 27-5. And they started the season a year ago with this matchup, and we'll do it again here this year. And of course, a pleasure to be with you on the KARE 11 Plus network, wherever you're watching. A great environment here for basketball, and we're happy you're with us. Brady Haltmeyer with you tonight alongside on-site engineer Andy Geboker and Super Stats Dave. We're ready for a terrific season of high school basketball here on KARE 11 Plus. We got a couple games this week, 13 boys games, 13 girls games in total for KARE 11, all big-time matchups. And the boys will get us started here tonight. Ellis to tip it up with Will Ferris. The Eagles in blue, the Royals in white, and it'll be Totino Grace basketball to start things off. This Malachi Hill with the basketball. He'll give it up now. A baseline drive, corner 3. Jacob will try it, and off the iron, no. Doesn't go for Vince Jacob, but the offensive rebound, and the putback is good for the senior captain, Chase Watley. Watley scored 12.8 points per game a year ago. Has it poked away as he's moving in transition. That was Malachi Hill. 2-0 to start this game. We're on the Hopkins side, the near side of your screen. The far side is the Totino side. As fans continue to fill in here to Totino Grace High School, a great atmosphere here for basketball in week 1 of the Minnesota high school basketball season. Inbound is to Ferris. He'll drop it right back down to the inbound man, Watley. Turnaround, Jay, is good. Watley with 4 points to start this game and a 4-0 Totino Grace lead. Eagles students talking defense early. This is J.J. Semenko. He'll hand off Davey Hart. Hart into the lane. Floater off the glass. No. Rebound secured by the Eagles. Ferris will bring it up the floor. Long feed up ahead to Jacob. He'll wait and let the offense set with Watley. Man-to-man defense for the Hopkins Royals. Just a minute into this game and already high intensity. In the corner, Jacob kick back out to Watley. He's got Hill with him instead. Goes back to the corner. Vince Jacob then takes a body bump from Davey Hart. And the first foul of the game will go on the Hopkins Royals. Hart picks up his first, team first, 16:52 to go here in this opening half. And it's TG on top here early. Some trouble getting the ball in, then they do. Malachi Hill with it back in his hand. Hill into the lane, was looking for Watley on the left block, and it goes through the hands of Watley out of bounds. A turnover now for either side. As Jacob will pick up the ball handler in Jaden Moore, highly touted junior. Moore averaged just shy of 20 points a game. Played football this year for the Hopkins Royals, helped them win their first game in almost 4 seasons. Smith has it stripped away. Another turnover for the Royals. Here comes Malachi Hill, floater in the lane, off the window and in. Caught some rim, caught some window, and it's 6-0. Eagles on top early. Moore with the basketball. Semenko turns down the screen into the corner. Hart wants to go baseline. Kick out to Ellis. Deep three on the way. Moore got it to go. Nothing but net for the sensational junior. He's being recruited in football, in basketball, and showing off right there why he's the number 3 player in the class of 2024 in Minnesota, a NBA 3 for Jaden Moore. 3 on the way. Hill wants to answer. Left it short off the front iron. Offensive rebound number 2 for Will Ferris. And the Eagles will have a chance again on their second chance. Jacob guarded tightly by Moore. Kick it to the corner. 3 on the way for the Eagles. That one off the back iron. No for Jalen Hines. And another offensive rebound for Ferris. Euros into the lane. That one goes. Watley's got 6. And the lead is up to 5. Anthony Smith with the basketball, the leading scorer for Hopkins a year ago. Smith averaged 23 a game. One of the most lethal three-point shooters in high school basketball. This time an air bank from the top of the key for Semenko. And that draws the ire of the Totino Grace students 3 minutes into this game. 3 on the way in the corner. That one too strong again for Totino Grace. A couple of looks in that corner for the Eagles, and Hines 0 for 2 to start the game. Smith make it more. Corner 3 for Hart on the way. Got it. Rattled it home. Hopkins fans on their feet here as their deficit cut to 2, 8-6 here in the early going. Both teams with a token pressure defense. This is going to be a tightly defended and contested game, I think, all the way around here. Right side with it, Hill shaking on Smith. Can't get by Smith. Good footwork from the senior captain for this Hopkins team. Hill now looking for some room, shakes off Smith, turnaround Jay, got it to go. Malachi Hill with another big bucket, and he is off to a good start here in this first game of the year. He's got 4, and the lead, it's up to 4. Couple of subs set to check in, next dead ball for either team. Semenko, he'll try another 3, left wing, no, off the front iron, out of bounds. It'll be Eagles basketball. Sub into the game for Hopkins is Ahmed Nur, the 6'9 sophomore forward. Will check in for Ellis. Ferris will take his seat for Totino Grace. And somebody else has to come out as well, and it will be Jalen Hines. So Hines and Ellis, make it Hines and Ferris, take his seat. Dothan Igjadimbola into the game, wearing number 0. Igjadimbola, one of the top scorers on the Eagles a season ago. Nice feed in the lane, cutting Vincent Jacob, and a nice find from Malachi Hill. And Smith will bring it the other way. Moore now with the basketball. Right side goes right around Jacob to the rack. Easy 2 for Jaden Moore. 12-8, 13.5 to go here in the first half. These two teams exchanging buckets on the last possession. Another Eagles set to check in, next dead ball. The other sub in, Daniel Zoa, into the game, wearing number 23 for Totino Grace. Dothan then has it taken away. They're going to call it traveling violation on Totino Grace. So that you give the ball back to Hopkins. Shea Jackson, the sophomore guard, 5'10", wears number 12, will come in to replace Vince Jacob. Jackson guards the ball and more. Jaden into the lane, kick out Semenko, pump fake on the 3. We'll try to get around Chase Watley instead. A corner 3, and it goes in off the bench. Ahmad Nur knocks down his first shot of the game. A 1-point lead now for the Eagles. Watley working on Semenko. Nice feed along the baseline. It goes, and the foul. Daniel Zoha with his first bucket of the night and a chance to make it a 3-point play. Let's take another look at the and one. Beautiful feed from Hill. And Zoha at the free throw line now to try to finish off the 3-point play. Got it to go, nothing but net on the first free throw attempted for Totino Grace. 15-11, 4-point lead. Easy bucket on the other end, though, for Davey Hart. And that's what the Royals like to do. They want to push the pace, force you to make mistakes. Coming the other way, Watley lost the handle. 3 on the way, though, for the Eagles, and it doesn't go for Shea Jackson. Here comes Smith. Smith off to the races, gives off to Semenko, but first an offensive foul. Called on Anthony Smith, his first, team second. And that'll fire up the Totino Grace side. 12:26 to go. Sub in is Trey Moore, a 9th grade guard, will take the place of Anthony Smith. It'll be Totino basketball. Shea Jackson to inbound. Totino 0 for 4 from downtown to start this game. Semenko guards the ball and Hill tightly. Hill picks up his dribble, backdoor feed, but it's taken away. Davey Hart in transition. Hart to the rack, got it to go. The senior guard, 6'5", can explode to the rim and just showed that right there. It's tied up now at 15 apiece. 12 minutes to go in the first half, and a foul called on Trey Moore, and he'll pick up his first, team third of this first half. And my goodness, Trey Moore. I remember watching him play on this varsity team as an 8th grader last year. He's grown a little bit. He's gotten stronger and still just a freshman. One of 3 Moores on this Hopkins team. Trey Moore, Jaden Moore. And don't forget about Tyson Moore a year ago. Hill picks up his dribble with the right hand, finds Igja Dimbola. His shot doesn't go. Tip from the Eagles. Second chance doesn't go. That was Zoha, and here comes Hopkins. Moore weaving through traffic, kicks it to the corner. Open 3, Semenko. No, off the iron. Davey Hart skying for an offensive rebound, but he was too early. Here's Shea Jackson. And then a foul call. That's going to go against Ahmad Nur, his first, team 4th. And Dothan was just smacked in the face there. It'll be a baseline inbound for Totino. We're tied up at 15, 11.5 to go in the first half. And it will be Totino to inbound. Jace Watley will throw it in for the Eagles. Inbound, swung it to the top for Malachi Hill. Watley bounces it. Igja Dimbola, his shot goes over the outstretched arms of 6'9", Ahmad Nur, and another fast break. Easy bucket, this time a slam for Davey Hart. Hart's got 9. He leads all scorers for the Hopkins Royals, 17-17. Dangerous pass, makes it through to Hill. He'll try an 18-footer off the front iron. No, another offensive rebound. The putback doesn't go. Hart able to scoop it away. And again, Zoha on the rebounding as Moore finishes in transition. Totino Grace has gotten everything they wanted on the offensive end, including a whole bunch of offensive rebounds, but giving up too many easy buckets right now in transition. Pull-up jumper, Hill rattles in, rattles out. Rebound skied for it. Did Semenko, long feet up ahead. Another slam finish. Davey Hart puts an exclamation point on that one. A 4-point Hopkins lead. A 4-0 run forces a Nick Carroll timeout. Davey Hart's got 2 dunks here in the early going. Number 11 now has 11, and it's 21-17. The first timeout of the game taken by Totino Grace with 10:32 to play in this first half. Right here for our commercial. So Nick Carroll, head coach of the Eagles, uses his first timeout. Hopkins fell behind early, trailing by 6 points, 8-2 early going, and then a run here in the middle half of this first half as the Royals with their first lead of the ball game, 21-17. It'll be Eagle basketball. Vince Jacob back into the game. Will Ferris back into the game alongside Ijah Dimbola, Watley, and Shea Jackson. And I'll make it Jalen Hines back in for Jackson. So starters back into the game for Totino Grace. Anthony Smith checked back in for Hopkins, and he's got the steal. Smith off to the races, skies in for the bucket and the foul. Anthony Smith, and one, checked right back into the game. And we'll have a chance here at the three-point play. Get another look at the steal and then the finish for the high-flying senior. He's played a ton of varsity minutes for Ken Novak. Can't get the three-point play completed. Ijah Dimbola fights off a couple of Royals and secures the rebound. Here's Watley with the basketball, guarded tightly by Tyson Moore. The senior Tyson. Fall away jumper from three, no for Watley. A rebound for Trey Moore, and he'll bring it across the Eagle logo. Under 10 to play in the first half, and Anthony Smith is going back to the free throw line. Foul called on Totino. It's against Chase Watley. So it's his second, team second. And we'll see now for Nick Carroll and the Totino Grace bench. They keep their captain with 2 fouls. Just 2 fouls, but 9:55 to play in this first half as Smith misses the front end of 2 shots. So Smith now 1 for 2 at the free throw line. And he's up to 3 points on the night. Watley with the basketball. Guarded tightly once again by Tyson Moore. The double team came from Davey Hart, but Watley able to dribble away from it. Ijah Dimbola kick it to the corner. Jacob will try a 3. That one off the front iron. No, another offensive rebound, and the putback good for Jalen Hines. The Eagles continue to pound the glass. Royals, though, continue to pound in transition, and Anthony Smith, for the 3rd consecutive time, is going back to the free throw line. So the foul on Hines. Get another look. Eagles students thought it was a block. Officials disagreed, and Anthony Smith back at the line as he hits the first one, nothing but net. So 3 points now for Smith. Make it 4 for Smith. And the lead grows to 6. So Dothan will take a seat. Will Ferris back into the game. And Smith has the Hopkins lead up to 7. Here's Jacob with the basketball. Now to Malachi Hill. Double team comes, got it away to the corner for Watley. Swung back high. Hopkins is running a man-to-man defense, but they're not afraid to double you once you get past the half-court stripe. Hill into the lane, kick to the corner for Watley. Working on Trey Moore, make it Tyson Moore. 13 on the shot clock. Watley might have got away. Well, he did it. Thought he was going to get away with the extra step with the official right on it. So J.J. Semenko will check back in for the Royals. Davey Hart and his 11 points will take his seat. 26-19, Hopkins on top. 9:02 to play in the first half on our KARE 11 Plus prep game of the week. And so far it's been a high-intensity matchup between 2 heavyweights in their respective classes. This match here now with Smith, who gives it up, though. Had Ferris on him. Now Moore will try a 3. Air ball too strong. Saved in, though, by his older brother, Tyson. So Trey airballed it. Tyson kept it in. Smith will try a 3, and he got it. First 3 of the season for Anthony Smith. He's up to 8 now, and the lead grows to 10. Into the corner for Vince Jacob. Guarded tightly by Nur. Jacob throws it inside for Ferris. Kick back out. Jacob will try a 3. That one, no, off the back iron. Long rebound out to Semenko. Here's Nur on the breakaway. He'll throw it down behind the back. What a finish for Ahmad Nur. Lead up to 12. And Hopkins is rolling here at Totino. 8 minutes to play in the first half, and Hopkins has found their stride here in just their first game of the season. Watley has a screen from Ferris. Lost the basketball. Scramble for it on the floor. and it will be Hopkins basketball. Let's take another look. The reverse jam from Ahmad Nur, the 6'9 sophomore, throwing it down in transition. And he'll check out now for Ken Novak. Jaden Moore back into the game alongside Davey Hart. So it's Trey Moore, Jaden Moore, Anthony Smith, J.J. Semenko, and Davey Hart, the 5 on the floor in white right now for Hopkins. We'll reset the floor for Totino in just a moment. Hart feeds it, swings it to Trey. Moore in the corner, up top now for Smith. Smith shakes off the defender into the lane, some contact. It's going to be a block called against Will Ferris and the Eagles. Anthony Smith is going to the line for the 4th time here in the first half. Smith with 8 points. Coming off a year where he averaged 23, one of the leaders in three-point percentage and three-point makes in the state last season. Now has 9 points, lead up to 13. And Hopkins right now has the Eagles playing their brand of basketball, which is fast-paced basketball. Nick Carroll and Totino Grace trying to find their rhythm. Ejadimbola picks up his dribble, fires it high. Hill kicks it to Jacob. Back to Hill at the top. Pump fake, got Semenko off his feet. Step through in the lane. Ejadimbola 3 in the corner. No off the iron. Rebound for Semenko, and it was a good one. In traffic. Here's Smith. Hesitates into the corner. Moore will try a 3. That one banked off the back iron, and the rebound for Ferris and the Eagles. Jacob now in trouble, picks up his dribble, but will hand off to Malachi Hill, and the sophomore will get it across the timeline. Hopkins really pestering the ball handlers right now for the Eagles. Under 7 to play in the first half. Dangerous feed taken away. Hart transition. Oh, he couldn't finish the dunk. Had it with the one hand. I think he lost it going up. Here's Jacob in the corner and a traveling violation. A turnover for Totino Grace. They now have 6 first half turnovers as the Eagles will go to the bench. Jalen Hines back into the game. Jacob will take the seat. So it's Hines, Ferris, Hill, Watley, and Ejadimbola on the floor right now in blue for Totino Grace. All blue jerseys, gold numbers, and gold trim for the home Eagles as they find themselves in a 13-point first half deficit. Jaden gives to Tyson right side. Tyson picked up by Watley. He'll swing it back high for Semenko. Inside feed from Moore, and it's taken away. Nice work there on the help side defense for Jalen Hines. Hines, again, one of the top sophomores in the class of 2027, ranked 5th in the class. Dothan, nice step through. Got right around Davey Hart. Ejadimbola has his 2nd bucket of the night. He's up to 4, and the lead is cut to 11. Jaden with the basketball. He'll take a screen from Semenko. Switched onto now by Ejadimbola into the corner. Tyson Moore trying to go around an Eagle in Hill, and he'll draw the foul on Malachi Hill. First foul for Hill. It's the 5th team foul. Now both teams with 5 first half fouls. 5:41 to play in the first half from Totino. Zoa back in. He'll take the spot of Will Ferris. Oh, nice designed inbound play, and an easy bucket that time for Tyson Moore. So he'll add his name to the scorers column. He's got 2, and the lead back up to 13. Hopkins giving these ball handlers no room to breathe. Watley working on Jaden Moore. Watley showing off the handles, baseline, beautiful feed. Hines with the finish, goes high with it. His 2nd bucket, lead back to 11. You got to get back in transition. Hopkins wants to push, found nothing on the break there. Instead, Moore will try a deep 3 off the side iron, no. Tipped out by Hines and collected by Hopkins. Beautiful feed back inside, then it was blocked. Ejadimbola got it again. Couple big blocks for the junior inside. Then it's stolen away. Hopkins has it back. Moore lost it out of bounds. Oh my goodness, back and forth they go. A track meet has broken out here at Totino. Take a look at the blocks from Dothan and the steal from Hopkins. In the ninth grade, Trey Moore couldn't hang on to the basketball when it was all said and done. It's Totino Grace basketball. They've got it back. And it's stolen right away. This time, Trey Moore finishes. Moore with back-to-back steals. Turnovers starting to pile up now here for the Eagles. They have 8 first-half turnovers. The lead is back to 13. Foul called. No, a travel. Jay Jackson tried to navigate around Davey Hart, and he shuffled the feet. Another turnover, make it 9 now on Totino, and a timeout called by Nick Carroll. We'll be back to Totino in just a minute. 4:33 to play in a 13-point lead here in the first half for Hopkins.
What's your water score? Find out with a free water analysis during the Aquarius Mega Sale. And save up to 25% off when you upgrade to Kinetico, the world's most efficient water treatment system. Aquarius Home Services, earning the right to be recommended.
Welcome back to Totino Grace. Hopkins ball out of the timeout. Davey Hart to inbound. He'll throw it in for Jaden Moore. Totino Grace now with 9 first-half turnovers. Combine that with 0 of 8 from downtown and a 13-point deficit here in the first half. Anthony Smith will give high for Moore. Moore into the corner for Hart. Hart working on Zoa. Swung it around for Semenko. Semenko, but can't get there in time. A shot clock violation. First of those of the game. So a turnover on Hopkins. Turnover number 5 of the first half for the Hopkins Royals. And it'll go back to Totino. Full court man-to-man pressure for Hopkins. It's been effective here in this first half. Shea Jackson throws it across the timeline for Hines. Hines now waits and will throw to the corner. Daniel Zoa, his feed intercepted. Smith up ahead. Moore with the basketball, tracks it down. Picked up by Jackson. Moore goes back to the baseline and got it to go. Trey Moore doubles his point total. He's up to 4, and the lead is 15, the largest of this first half. Watley dribbles around defenders and tries to go with the backhand. Could not finish. Here's Smith spinning, popping. 18-footer, rims in and out. Rebound for Jalen Hines. Hines up ahead for Ijad Mbola. Shot fake. Now he'll pull up. 15-footer. No off the back iron. Rebound picked up by Davey Hart. Hart gives for Smith. Hesitates. Smith into the lane. No, but he's going back to the free throw line. Anthony Smith with 9 first-half points. Looks at the Totino students, and they're shouting at the senior guard. So he'll go back to the line, Will Smith. Now 6 team fouls called on to Totino Grace. I believe it was on Doa, the foul. And it was his first, team 6. So Hopkins will shoot 1 and 1 the rest of the way on non-player control fouls. Smith, second one doesn't go, so 1 of 2 on that trip to the line for Smith. Here's Ijad Mbola, has it poked away, but got it back. Then Semenko is called for the foul. J.J. Semenko picks up his first, team 6, so now 1 and 1 the rest of the way for either side. Just under 3 to play here from Totino Grace in this first half, and it's been a high-intensity first game of the season. And what else would you expect? You got the number 1 team in Class 3A, the number 3 team in Class 4A here to start the season. Jackson, his pass tipped by J.J. Semenko, and that has been the name of the game in this first half for Hopkins defensively. Tip balls up in the passing lanes. They've forced now double-digit turnovers here on the Eagles in this first half. Kent Novak has his team playing with a high intensity here in the first week of December. Bounce it off for Ijadabola. Back to Watley. Navigates the left side and finishes. Some contact, no whistle. Watley finished anyway. He's got 8. Lead cut to 14. Jacob will go to the scores table alongside Malachi Hill. They'll check in next dead ball for the Eagles. Semenko with the basketball. Left side will give back to Smith. Right wing working on Watley. 16 on the shot clock for Hopkins. They're patient with the basketball now. Semenko feeds it inside for Trey. Back to Semenko. He'll try a right wing three. That one off the back iron, no. Rebound to Hines. Hines throws it back to Watley. Nearly intercepted by Hart, but Watley has it and will walk across the half-court stripe with 2 minutes to play in the first half. No room to breathe. Trey Moore all over Watley. He spins off the defender. Watley into the lane. Some contact again, no call. And the rebound secured for Smith. Hopkins wants to run. Smith with the left hand fights off the defender, and Hines it finishes. Oh my goodness. With the right hand, Anthony Smith into double figures. Make it 12 now for Smith. Oh, let's take another look at the finish from Anthony Smith. Hesitated, stepped through from left to right, and finished beautifully with that right hand off the window and in. And Anthony Smith up to 12. And the lead up to 16. So Jacob and Hill will check into the game for TG. Jackson takes a seat alongside Jalen Hines. Instead, though, it's going to be 1-1. So Jackson will have to come back into the game to shoot the free throws. So Jackson will have 1-1. 1:39 to go here in the first half. It's 41-25. The Royals shot out to the 16-point lead thanks to some great defense. In the front end of the 1-1 for Jackson doesn't go. Rebound for Nur. Up ahead for Davey. Hart gives to Smith. Smith picked up by Jackson. Home crowd loving the defense. Smith, and I thought he was going to get whistled for a push-off. This is good energy for Nick Carroll's squad, and a jump ball. The sideline official called jump. The baseline official called a foul. If it is a jump basketball, it'll go the direction of the Tino Grace, and the home fans are loving the defensive effort there. That's more like what Hopkins has done in this first half with high-intensity defensive pressure. So Jackson forces the jump ball. He'll take his seat. Malachi Hill back in for the final 122 of this first half. Into the high post. Ijadabola will fire. Free throw line jumper off the iron. No. Rebound ripped away by Jacob. Corner three. Watley. Yes, got it to go. First three-pointer of the game for Tino Grace. And they've cut the lead to 13. 41-28. Under a minute to play here in the first. Smith with the basketball. Calls for his screen. Instead, handoff for Moore. Swung around left side, Semenko. He'll take a screen from Nur. He'll fire a three. That one rims in and out. And another strong rebound ripped away by the senior Jacob. Watley will walk it up the floor. 5-second differential between shot and game clock, but that doesn't phase Chase Watley. He'll go right to the rack and finish. And number 13 has 13 in this first half, and the lead is cut to 11. Smith with the basketball. Shot clock turned off. He'll wait and hold for one. Jacob defends. Smith, the ball handler. 10 seconds to go in the first half. Nur comes to set the screen. Smith hesitates, pulls up for two. That one off the iron, no. 2 seconds left. Ijadabola will fire it ahead of the halftime buzzer, and he'll miss this shot, and that will bring us to the halftime break here at Totino. Hopkins led by as many as 16. A strong close in the final minute, 22 for the Eagles, has the lead down to 11, and that's where we sit here at halftime. Hopkins 41, Totino 30. We'll take a break from Fridley here at the Tino Grace High School on our KARE 11 Prep Game of the Week. Back in just a bit.
What's your water score? Find out with a free water analysis during the Aquarius Mega Sale. And save up to 25% off when you upgrade to Connecticut, the world's most efficient water treatment system. Aquarius Home Services, earning the right to be recommended.
Get an 11% rebate on everything in Menards. Protect your boats and recreational vehicles with FVP RV and Marine Antifreeze. It has burst-proof protection down to -50 degrees, keeping you protected against freezing temperatures. Get a gallon for $2.49 after rebate. Attract a variety of songbirds and cardinals to your feeder with Enchanted Gardens Cardinal Mix. It's a blend of nutritious seeds that keeps birds coming back. Get a bag for $15.99 after 11% rebate.
Save big money at Menards.
A good neighbor would give you a cup of sugar if you asked. At Truestone Financial, we don't have any sugar, but we will give you up to $350 when you switch to a Truestone checking account. It's true, because we're Truestone.
Taco John's queso is back, and it's so good you could drink it. Well, you could, but it's better on fried chicken tacos. This cheesy queso boss burrito should quench your thirst for that Hatch chili kick. Creamy 3-cheese queso is good enough to drink, but better on nachos. Our whole menu is just waiting to be dipped or dunked. So even though it's so good you could drink it, forget it. Get me a straw. The ultimate queso takeover is back at Taco John's. Bigger, bolder, better.
And welcome back to Totino Grace. We're at the halftime break on our KARE 11 Plus game of the week, and it's been a high action, high intensity opening game here for these two teams tonight. Hopkins leading by a score of 41-30 at the halftime break. We'll start with the visitors. Here are the team stats from that first half. Hopkins shooting 4 of 11 from downtown in half number one, 36% as a team. They have 6 turnovers, 4 steals, just 2 offensive rebounds, 2 blocks, and they're 5 of 9 from the free throw line as a team are the Hopkins Royals. How about Totino Grace? The Eagles slow start, I should say, and poor shooting from the outside to start this game for Totino Grace. They started 0 of 8 from downtown. They did hit 1 3 before that halftime buzzer. 1 for 9 from downtown are the Eagles to start this game. They have 10 first half turnovers, but 7 offensive rebounds. They've been crashing the glass hard, and that has kept them within striking distance of the Hopkins Royals right now, and just 1 of 2 at the free throw line for Totino Grace in half number one. That's a look at some of the team stats. How about the individual scores? Anthony Smith leads the way for Hopkins with 13. Jaden Moore has 8 at the break, alongside Davey Hart with 11 for Hopkins. Chase Watley leads all scorers for Totino Grace. He's got 13, 4 for Hines, 4 for Malachi Hill. John Mbola with 4 as well. 3 points for Daniel Zoa in that first half as Totino Grace takes the floor, and they'll get a few shots up before this second half gets underway. We talked a little bit about it on the pregame show, but Hopkins, they want to force you to play quick, and the more they can speed you up, the easier it is for Hopkins. They love to play fast. Ken Novak has spoken about it at length in interviews over the years about his team and how, at least the last few years, they've been rather undersized. So what they do to make up for that lack of size, they want to push you hard and fast, and that's the way that first half went, more in the direction of the Royals style of play. So we'll see what Totino Grace can do in this second half to try to slow things down, at least on the offensive end, and make life a little easier, because right now Hopkins is defending very ferociously out top with really no room to breathe for any ball handlers, making it difficult to get into the offense for Totino Grace. Hopkins still in the halftime locker room. Both these teams, though, they are second half teams. I mean, it's no secret that at least when you look at some of the numbers in terms of the first half versus second half scoring, most teams score more points in the second half, but I don't think I've seen as many lopsided numbers as I had today looking at these two teams. Of course, I was looking at the numbers from a season ago. A year ago, Totino Grace, they averaged 77 points a game, but they averaged over 50 in the second half. They're averaging 51 points per half in the second half of games last season. And I thought, man, that's a big number, 51 points per half in second halves of games a year ago, until I got to Hopkins. Hopkins, they averaged 52 points per game in the second half last year. So these are two teams that can score the basketball, and they prefer to do it in the second half. We'll see if that holds true here tonight. Hopkins a year ago, they were 13-4 on the road. And Totino, they were 12-2 last year here on their home floor. So just 80 ticks away from second half basketball. Ken Novak still has his team in the locker room, but we expect to see them momentarily as we're just about set for the second half. Starters will remain the same. Malachi Hill, Jalen Hines, Chase Watley, Vince Jacob, and Will Ferris on the floor for Totino Grace. Jaden Moore, Anthony Smith, Davey Hart, J.J. Semenko, and Julius Ellis. The five starters in the first half, presumed to be the five starters to start this second half. All right, Royals out of the locker room, and they are back on the floor. And it looks like there's a little change. Four starters and Ahmad Nur. So Nur in for Ellis for Hopkins. Same five to start the second half for Totino Grace that started the game. And Hopkins will put in Ahmad Nur instead of Julius Ellis, and the Royals will have the basketball to start the second half. Jaden Moore, guarded by Jacob. He'll give to Smith, right wing. Take a screen from Semenko, kick it high for Nur, guarded by Ferris. 22 on the shot clock. Hart, kick right side. Smith, NBA three. Yes, nothing but net. Anthony Smith delivers from the outside, and Hopkins with their fifth made three of the game has the lead back up to 14. They led by as many as 16. Watley to the corner. Jacob three. Off the back iron. No. Tipped out. Collected by Hopkins. Smith with the basketball. Good find in the corner. Moore will launch a three. That one left short off the front iron. Rebound picked up by Chase Watley. Watley, right-handed dribble. Will shake off a defender. Then could not connect with Malachi Hill. Here's Anthony Smith with the finish. One hand slam in transition. Anthony Smith with 5 points to start this second half, and they match the largest lead of the game at 16. Another turnover. Hill tried to throw it off a foot of a Royal. Instead, it was inbounds. Hart misses the three, and the rebound picked up by Hill. Watley will bring it up the floor. Minute 15 into this second half, and so far Hopkins getting everything they want. Long three on the way, doesn't go. Ferris knocked off his feet. Rebound for Moore. No look pass to Nur, and he has it stripped away. Nice defensive play from Jalen Hines. Hines wants to run. Euro on the right side. Some contact as the shot doesn't fall. Hines will go to the line. Make it Malachi Hill will go to the line. Foul will go against Jaden Moore. And I believe it's his third foul. It is. So Moore picks up his third foul, and that could prove to be a big moment there. 16:26 to go here in the second half as Malachi Hill They'll go to the free throw line. Just 2 attempted free throws in the first half for Totino Grace, and they'll miss their first opportunity at the charity stripe here in the second half. He'll finish that first half with 4 points. Just a sophomore, and the sophomore has the second free throw, 1 of 2, cuts the lead to 15. Jaden Moore with the basketball. Right-handed dribble guarded by Vince Jacob. Left side to Smith. Smith working on Hill. Step back, no. Into the lane. A cutting Davy Hart. Traveled. There was some contact there as well. Hart now will talk to Ken Novak. Will be a turnover on Hopkins, their first of the second half. And the Royals will pick back up in their full court man-to-man pressure defense. Smith guards the ball handler in Watley. Watley breaks the pressure to Hines. He'll pull up, jumper off the iron, no. Rebound for Semenko, and he'll outlet to Smith. Make it more. Jaden hesitates, left-handed dribble, backdoor feed, intercepted by Watley. He wants to push the other way. Chase Watley step through in the lane with the left, no. Second chance, falls in. So Watley's got 15. The lead cut back to 13. And Smith will fire a 3 in transition. Does it go? Rebound for Jacob. Hill will bring it up the floor. Crosses over in front of Smith. Now navigates around Semenko and will draw a foul on the ground on J.J. Semenko. Hopkins has now 2 team fouls in this second half. Semenko whistled for his second of the game. So Ferris will check out. John Mbola into the game for the Eagles. Malachi Hill to inbound the basketball. He'll get it in. John Mbola working on Hart. To the rack he goes with the right hand, no. And the rebound for Davy Hart. Pushing up ahead to Smith. Make it more. Hangs, finds Nur. Corner 3 off the iron, no. Rebound for Totino Grace. Throw it up ahead. John Mbola to Watley. Watley behind the back. Fancy footwork. And it's rejected by Ahmad Nur. Baseline inbound coming for Totino Grace. What a defensive effort there from the 6'9" sophomore forward, Ahmad Nur. Started this second half, came in off the bench in the first half, and making an impact once again defensively. Another block. This time it was Ijad Mbola who was rejected, and another baseline inbound coming for Totino Grace. Trey Moore, the 9th grader, will check into the game. Anthony Smith will take his seat. And we'll have take 2 on the inbound for the Eagles. Nice feed inside to Hill. Easy finish. He went right around Trey Moore. 46-35. Totino back within 11. Jaden Moore with the basketball. He'll give to Nur at the top. Got it right back on the handoff. Into the corner. 3 on the way for Trey. No. Tapped out of bounds. Who touched it last? They'll say Hopkins. .39 to play here in the second half. Hopkins has not given Totino an inch of room defensively to breathe. Every dribble, you got a man right in your face. Hill to the corner for Hines. Hines goes baseline, runs into a double team, but finds a cutting Ijad Mbola, and he'll finish at the rack. An easy 2 for the big fella. He's up to 6. The lead back to single digits. It's a 9-point Hopkins lead. Smith to Hart, into the lane. Davy Hart, tough shot, yes sir, and the foul. Davy Hart has a chance for the 3-point play. 13 on the game now for Hart, and he'll get 1 at the line. So first foul of the second half for Totino Grace. As the and 1 free throw goes for Hart, he's up to 14, lead back to 12. 14:08 to play in the second half. Stolen away. Trey Moore draws the foul, almost finished with a chance for another 3-point play. Instead, it'll be the 9th grader to go to the line. 2 shots coming for Trey Moore. He's got 4 points in this game for Hopkins and a chance to add at the charity stripe. Hopkins now 7 for 11 on free throws in this game. And 2 for 2 here in the second half. Second one on the way, and the ninth grader cashes them both in from the free throw line. Lead back to 14. Inbound is to Watley. Watley across the timeline. Tight defense from Trey. Watley, 3 on the way. Yes, sir. Second 3 of the game for Totino Grace. And Watley now up to 18. He leads all scorers on the floor. Semenko guarded by Jacob. Semenko pulls up, baseline jumper, rattled it home, off the iron and in for J.J. Semenko. He's got his first bucket of the night, and the lead back up to 13. Up ahead for Hill, step inside the free throw line, the three-point line, I should say, and the 18-footer is good. Hill now with 4, make it 6 for Hill. Jaden will try a 3, and he'll connect. Got a man off his feet, and Jacob. And Jaden Moore cashes in another from the outside. Lead up to 14. Here's Malachi Hill. Goes right by the defender and lays it in with the right hand. Malachi Hill up to 8. Lead back to 12 for Hopkins. As Jaden Moore penetrates, finds Nur, and off the window and in for the sophomore Nur. He's up to 7. And the lead back to 14, nearly stolen away by Semenko, but he knocked it out of bounds. It'll be Totino basketball and inbound right by the Hopkins bench. Jacob and Hill to the bench. Shea Jackson into the game alongside Daniel Zoa. Davey Hart takes a seat for Hopkins as Tyson Moore checks back in. So it's a Moore party out there. Trey, Tyson, and Jaden, the 3 Moore brothers, all on the floor with Semenko and Nur, as that shot was blocked by J.J. Semenko on the attempt for Watley. And as he talks with the baseline official who's looking for a foul call, Watley doesn't get it there, but he'll inbound here. 12.5 to go in the second half. Anthony Smith thought he was going to come into the game. Now he will come in. So Smith will come in for Moore. Watley to inbound, has it into Zoa. Kick back to the corner for Watley, trying to go on the high-low. They have the mismatch with Smith, defending the taller Daniel Zoa. Instead, Watley with the left hand lays it off the window and in. Watley's got 20. Lead back to 12 for Hopkins. And Chase Watley is keeping the Eagles alive right now. Offensive foul called on Hopkins. Ahmad Nur picks up the foul call. It was a moving screen, his second, team third of this second half. It'll be Totino basketball. Another baseline, make it a side inbound. And as Watley gets it across the half-court stripe, take the screen. He'll fire a deep 3. Yes, sir! Once again, connects from the outside. Deep 3 for the senior. He's up to 23. Lead back to single digits for the Hopkins Royals. Semenko tries to answer. Off the back iron, no. Rebound collected by the Eagles in Hines. Watley surging. Double team comes. Watley splits the double and draws a foul on Hopkins. Man, Chase Watley, the energy spark Totino needed. Has him back within 9, but you have to find a way to keep this energy going here. Shea Jackson will inbound. Davey Hart will check back into the game. J.J. Semenko will take a seat. Get a slap on the back from head coach Ken Novak. And it'll be Jackson to inbound. He'll throw it into the hot hand Watley. Looking inside for Ijad Mbola. Guarded tightly. Now Dothan has it in there. Working on Nur. He'll kick back out. Watley pump fake. Corner 3. Yes, you got it. Watley hits another. Sends this place into a frenzy. It's 58-52. Eagles back within 6. Tyson Moore with the basketball. He'll give off to Anthony Smith, guarded by Watley. Back to Nur. Nur will try a three. Off the back iron, no. Smith with the putback and got it to go. What a finish from Anthony Smith. He's up to 19. Lead back to 8. And John Bola, baseline feed. Kick it back out top. Watley tries to save it. Instead, a turnover onto Tino Grace. High-flying action here the last few minutes. Let's take a look at that corner three from Chase Watley. Timeout called by Nick Carroll. And that'll give us a chance to take a deep breath here from Tino Grace, as the intensity has been turned up here in this second half. 60-52 is our score. 11:01 to play in half number 2. Anthony Smith up to 19. Watley has 26 for Tino. Watley with a whole bunch of buckets coming in the last few minutes. Tino Grace 3 of 5 from three-point land in this second half. Hopkins is 2 for 9. Hopkins hit 4 first half threes. They've hit just 2 here in the second half. And for Tino, 3 second half threes. They only hit 1 in that first half. So there's our first buzzer, and we'll get these two teams back on the floor in just a moment. It'll be a side inbound for the Hopkins Royals. My goodness, the intensity here in December, the first week of December, first game of the season, first week here of boys high school basketball in Minnesota, and what a game here tonight. We still have 11 minutes to play. So it'll be Jackson Hill, Watley, Ijad Bola, and Doa on the floor for Tino Grace. Jaden Moore, Anthony Smith, Trey Moore, Davey Hart, and Ahmad Nur, the 5 out there in white for Hopkins. Smith will walk it across the timeline, guarded by Hill. He'll give to Nur, got it right back off on the handoff. At the volleyball line, Smith make it Moore, will kick. Trey Moore corner three, that doesn't go, and the rebound for Ijad Bola. And Hill will walk it up the floor. Watley has 14 of his 26 points coming here in the second half. Watley calls for it. He'll get it. Matched up on Trey Moore. Moore pokes it away, and it'll stay on this end of the floor. 20 ticks left on the shot clock. 10.5 to go in the second half. And it'll be Malachi Hill to throw it in. Side out for Tino. Inbound, gets it in. And right back to Hill. Hill to the lane. Floater with the right hand. Nice friendly bounce off the back iron and in. Malachi Hill nearing, now make it 13 now for Hill. Smith gives to Moore. He'll try a three. That doesn't go, but tipped to the hands of Trey Moore. Back out for Smith to Davey Hart, all alone on the left wing. Got it to go. Davey Hart cashes into 3 from the outside. He's up to 17 in the lead, up to 9 for the Hopkins Royals. Under 10 to play here in the second half. Malachi Hill guarded tightly by Jaden Moore. Hill into the lane. Fall away jumper off the back iron. No. Rebound for Moore. Up ahead. Hart in transition. Left side with the right hand. And off the window and in. He's up to 19 as it's nearly stolen away. Instead, a foul called on Trey Moore. For Hopkins, that's team foul number 5. Will Ferris will check back into the game for Tino Grace. He'll replace Daniel Zoa, and it'll be Tino basketball. Now 5 team fouls on the Royals. And Ijad Bola will get it into Hill. Hill works that far sideline. Here comes the double team. Lost his footing. Got it away, though, safely. And across the timeline with Watley, and a foul called on Ahmad Nur. Team foul number 6. So those fouls quickly adding up for Hopkins. Now they're just 1 away from the bonus. Nur has been called for now his 3rd foul. So Nur now with 3 fouls. Jaden Moore has 3 fouls as well. Trey Moore with 2. Nobody else with more than that on the floor right now for Hopkins. Inbound from Hill to Ijadimbola. Dothan working on Hart. Kick it, swing it around to the corner. Oh, Watley couldn't hang on to it. Instead, will drive it in. Got his own rebound. The putback doesn't go. Third chance for Watley, and that one cashed it in. Watley now with 28. And the Hopkins lead cut back to 9, 65-56. Here in our KARE 11 Plus game of the week, and it's proved to be just that. Nur hands off for Smith, working on Jackson. Smith now picked up by Malachi Hill. He's got the mismatch inside, but Hill pokes it away from Smith. Watley up ahead. Ijadimbola goes baseline, muscles in, got the bucket, and the foul. Ijadimbola's going to the line for an and one free throw. He's up to 8. Lead cut to 7. And Dothan can make it a 6-point game with a made free throw here. Team foul number 7 on Hopkins, and that's the 4th foul on Ahmad Nur, the 6'9" forward off the bench. The sophomore started the second half and has played starter minutes here in this first game of the year for Ken Novak, and now Novak in discussion with one of the referees at the scorer's table. I think he was trying to change who that foul was called on. Now discussion will be had by our 3 officials. If it is on Nur, he is up to 4. So Nur will take a seat. J.J. Semenko back into the game for Hopkins. He's got 3 fouls as well. So the fouls starting to add up. We'll see if Citino can cash in from the free throw line as the and one free throw goes for Dothan. He's up to 9, lead cut to 6, 8:45 to play. Jaden Moore with the basketball. Works from right to left. Now we'll give to Hart. 24 on the shot clock for Hopkins. Moore fakes into the lane, off his feet, finds his brother in the corner. Swing it back to Smith, right side. 15 on the shot clock for Smith. Back to Moore. Hopkins patient on this possession. Smith make it Semenko in the lane. Got it on the foul. And 1 for J.J. Semenko. And he'll have a chance to answer with a 3-point play of his own. 8:20 to go, and the lead back to 8. J.J. can make it 9 with a made free throw. It's the 3rd foul of the game on Malachi Hill. The 3rd foul on Totino this half as well. So the 1 free throw up and good for J.J. Semenko. 68-59. Semenko's got 5, and he guards the ball right now. Ijadimbola got out of the way. Whitley all alone. 3 on the way. Back iron, no. Long rebound makes it out to Hart. He wants to run. Hart, kick it. Smith will try a 3. Off the iron, no. Rebound secured by Malachi Hill. Hill to the other end, and that's going to be goaltending. Anthony Smith knocked it out of the rim, and I think everybody knew it was over the cylinder there. Impressive hops for the 6'1" senior. He can really get up there. But he can't hit it when it's over the cylinder, so Smith will take a quick breather. 7:57 to go. Tyson Moore will check back into the game. It's a 7-point Hopkins advantage. If you're just joining us, Hopkins trailed in the first few minutes, then took a double-digit lead in the first half, all the way up to 16 at one point as Moore adds another bucket. Totino has clawed back into this game, but it's just trading buckets with the Royals right now. Jackson corner 3. That one, no. A rebound in the corner secured by Tyson Moore. He'll bring it across the timeline. Have it stripped away, though. Malachi Hill off to the races. Hill has it blocked, but a foul called. Hart and Trey Moore are on the defense for Hopkins. Davey Hart thought he got all ball. Hopkins fans in front of us thought the same. Officials did not agree, so Malachi Hill will go to the free throw line here in a 9-point game. Free throws getting more and more important down the stretch here. A couple subs set to check in. It'll be Jalen Hines in, Vince Jacob in. But first, we have to have Malachi Hill get his shoe tied, and now the sophomore can shoot some free throws. First one on the way, and it's good. Pressure free throws for both teams here down the stretch. Ferris and Jackson will take a seat. Jacob and Hines back into the game for the home team. 70-62. Hill can make it a 7-point game with a made free throw here. Hill with 16 tonight, make it 17 as he cashes in both from the free throw line. Jaden Moore goes the other way for Hopkins. Junior working on the sophomore. He'll take a screen. Does Jaden. Kicking out, swinging around for Hart in the far corner. Inside feed and a beauty for Semenko. And another chance for a three-point play. J.J. Semenko draws the foul. Who was it on? Hines. So Hines will pick up the foul call. It's his third, team fourth. 7:06 to go here in the second half. And Hopkins can once again make it a double-digit lead with a free throw. Semenko, nothing but net, and it's a 10-point Hopkins Royals advantage. Watley will walk it up the floor. Guarded by the longer Semenko, so maybe a defensive change here for Hopkins. It was Trey Moore earlier. Here's Ijad Bola, and he'll cash one in from the outside. Dothan, the big fella, knocks in the three. He's got 12. On the other side, Davey Hart tried to answer. Hill down the left wing. Hill then shuffled the feet. Turnover coming at a bad time for Totino. 6.5 to go. And a 7-point advantage for Hopkins. They have the basketball. It'll be Jaden Moore to bring it up the floor. And a whistle and a timeout called by Hopkins. Full timeout on the floor. We'll take one too. Back in 60 seconds to Totino Grace.
What's your water score? Find out with a free water analysis during the Aquarius Mega Sale. And save up to 25% off when you upgrade to Connecticut, the world's most efficient water treatment system. Aquarius Home Services, earning the right to be recommended.
Get an 11% rebate on everything at Menards. Protect your boats and recreational vehicles with FVP RV and Marine Antifreeze. It has burst-proof protection down to negative 50 degrees, keeping you protected against freezing temperatures. Get a gallon for $2.49 after rebate. Attract a variety of songbirds and cardinals to your feeder with Enchanted Gardens Cardinal Mix. It's a blend of nutritious seeds that keeps birds coming back. Get a bag for $15.99 after 11% rebate.
Save big money at Menards.
And welcome back to Totino Grace. Hopkins with the basketball and a 7-point lead. 6 and some change to go here from Totino, our opening night of boys basketball here on KARE 11 Plus. And thank you for joining us wherever you're watching on the KARE 11 YouTube page, KARE11.com/watch. You can also watch on your Fire Stick, Smart TV. Other smart TVs as well have it. Roku. Many places to find KARE 11 basketball. We have 26 games scheduled for this season on KARE 11 Plus. We hope you continue to join us. Tomorrow night we'll be at Orono for Wayzata and Orono in boys basketball. Friday at Providence in girls basketball. Ijad Bola 3 on the way. Off the iron, no. It was touched though by Trey Moore. I do believe it was right in front of the Totino students, and they were all calling it out. And that is the call. It'll be Totino basketball. Baseline inbound for Chase Watley. Inbound to Ijad Bola, working on Semenko. He'll feed it inside to Watley. Watley with the left hand draws the foul. Davey Hart can't believe it. He looks back at the official. Ken Novak He is now leaning in, looking for an explanation on that call. One that he doesn't seem to be very pleased with. But nonetheless, Chase Whatley back to the free throw line. 28 points in the game. 14 coming here. As that one knocks it in as Whatley. So 29 now for Whatley. Hopkins has been settling for threes on the outside here in this second half. Totino has done the same, but they've been making more of them. Hopkins just 3 of 14 here from downtown in the second half. Lead down to 5 with 5:33 to play here from Totino Grace. Jaden Moore with the basketball. Anthony Smith to the scorer's table. He'll check in next dead ball. Moore gives to Jaden. Tyson and Jaden Moore. Here's Jaden with the dribble. Right hand crosses over on Jacob. Off his feet, but finds Hart. Kick it back to Jaden Moore. He'll try a deep corner three. That one airballed, and the rebound secured by Hill. Malachi Hill will slow down now and walk it across the timeline. 5 minutes to go from TG. Backdoor feed off the leg of Semenko. Hopkins has it on the break. Here's Hart to the rack. No. Rebound secured by TG. Ijad Mbola runs the break. Ijad Mbola to the rack and got it to go. Dothan up to 14. Timeout on the floor. Totino Grace has cut the Hopkins lead to 3. Totino fans making some noise on their end of the floor. Hopkins fans on the bottom of your screen. Totino fans on the far side of your screen. You get a look at the finish from Dothan Ijad Mbola. And then the timeout called. 73-70. Hopkins looking to end this run here. 10 points now in this second half for Ijad Mbola. Had just 4 at the break. Now up to 14 on the game. 30 points for Chase Whatley. 17 for Malachi Hill, and the leading scorers, the top 3 scorers for Totino Grace. Anthony Smith will now check back in for Hopkins. So for Hopkins, it's Trey Moore, Davey Hart, Anthony Smith, JJ Semenko, and Jaden Moore. Vince Jacob on the floor for Totino alongside Dothan Ijad Mbola, Chase Whitley, Malachi Hill, and Jalen Hines. Hopkins basketball leading by 3, 4:40 to go here from Totino. Jaden hands off for Tyson. Swung around to Semenko. He'll weave back to the left side and give to Smith. Anthony Smith with the basketball. 16 on the shot clock. Trey calls for a screen. Instead gives to Jaden. Jaden probes in the lane. Baseline feed all the way to Hart. 3 on the way for Davey. No, but an offensive rebound. Moore muscles it back up and in. Jaden Moore with the finish. He's got 14. And the lead back to 5. As Whatley had to tie his shoe. Fortunate for Hill that he was open. Now he'll get it back to Whatley. And he'll walk across the half-court stripe. His feed to Ijad Mbola is taken away. Davey Hart with the steal. And it'll be Hopkins basketball. A foul called on Totino Grace. Ijad Mbola has been called for his first, team 5th. So 5 team fouls for TG, 9 team fouls for Hopkins. It's double bonus the rest of the way for Totino Grace. But the Eagles still have 1 foul to give. Jaden Moore, long 2 on the way. No, another offensive rebound. This time it's Trey Moore. Kick out for Smith. He'll try a 3 and connect from downtown. Why not for Anthony Smith? Lead back up to 8, a 5-0 run out of the timeout. Ijad Mbola has it stripped away. Here's Trey Moore to the rack, lays it up and in. All of a sudden, a 10-point Hopkins advantage. Hill to the corner. Jacob spins, gives it back to Hill, but first a traveling violation. What a turn of events here for Hopkins. They've just flipped the script on Totino Grace. Had a 16-point deficit cut to 3. And now Hopkins back on top by double digits. Jaden will walk it up the floor for Hopkins. Guarded by Jacob. Goes by Jacob. Kick it out. Swing it around. Extra pass. Corner three. Hart. Yes, sir. Davy Hart buries another three. He's up to 22 in the lead to 13. 83-70. 3 minutes to play here from Totino. Watley trying to answer. Watley suffocating defense from Hopkins again. Floater airballed. Put back is good though. Hines there to scoop up the air ball and puts it back in. It ends the run for Hopkins, but still an 11-point advantage. It was a 10-0 run for the Hopkins Royals before that bucket from Hines. 2.5 to play in the game. Shea Jackson will check in next dead ball for Totino Grace. Smith working on Ejad Mbola to the rack, got the bucket. They're going to call the foul, or is it on the floor? In the NBA, this would be continuation. I think in high school, it's going to be on the floor. Vince Jacob looks to be the man calling for the foul, and they're going to say it's on the floor. I think. No, they won't. Count the bucket and one. So they'll give the bucket to Smith. Lead up to 13. So Smith from the line can't connect on the one free throw. Watley almost had it stripped from behind by Smith. 85-72. 2 and some change to play. Here's Hill, double team, lost the basketball, but it was the last touch by Trey Moore. So we'll stay with Hopkins, 2:05 to play. Watley and company are going to need a flurry. They're going to need it quickly. Inbound is into the short corner. And John Mbola guarded by Semenko. Delton picks up his dribble, swings it around to Hill. Floater on the way from Hill, and got it to go. A high arcing shot for Malachi Hill. He's up to 19. Lead for Hopkins cut to 11. Minute 50 to go. And Shea Jackson all tangled up there with Anthony Smith, trying to not let Smith get the basketball. On the other side, Semenko. He'll bring it in, pull up. 2-point jumper, no, and the rebound for Watley. Up ahead, nice feed. Ejad Mbola can't finish. Rebound tapped out by Moore. Jaden then is fouled, and Jaden will go to the free throw line for 1 and 1. Minute 28 to go, and now 17 fouls on the Eagles. So Hopkins in the single bonus, Totino in the double bonus. 11 minutes to go here in just a minute and 28 seconds, or 11-point game, I should say, with just a minute and 28 to go. And Hopkins has built this team up. A number of years these guys have played together. They struggled as freshmen and sophomores on the floor. They got better a year ago. 2 straight trips to the section final, falling to state champion 2 years ago in Wayzata, state runner-up this year in Wayzata, or last year I should say in Wayzata. And this team has built up their options. They've got a lot of scoring threats. Davy Hart, Jaden Moore, Anthony Smith, as a foul is called on Davy Hart. That's his third, team 10th, and it's going to be, is it going to be 3 shots for Chase Watley? It is. So a foul from the 3-point line. I have 3 chances for Chase Watley. He's got 30 points. He leads all scorers. And he'll have a chance now with 3 shots from the line. Totino's going to need all of these, and then they're going to need some help. As the Totino students start to head for the exits. A great atmosphere here for high school basketball tonight. Oh, that was just 2 shots. They got 1 more. As everybody was going after the second, Watley will get 1 more. 87-75. Got to get the shot clock up to 35. They do, and now we're set for the third and final free throw from Chase Watley. On the way and good, so 2 of 3 at the line, up to 32 points on the game for 70 seconds to go from Totino, and Hopkins will pick up their first win of the season and a big win here tonight over the number 1 team in Class 3A, barring some sort of miraculous comeback. Semenko will lay in the easy 2. Hopkins up to 89 points, and this is the way Hopkins wants to play. Fast-paced basketball. They turn it into a track meet, and that's exactly what they do best. As Totino just could not keep up with the high-flying Royals here tonight. And again, just too many options for Hopkins in the scoring department. So many threats from the outside. Big presence in the game. Ahmad Nur coming in, a newcomer to the varsity team this year. He was huge. They needed that size a year ago when they were taking on Wayzata. Ahmad Nur, I think, will be a huge help for this team this year. Match him up with all the talented guards they have on this Hopkins team and put that with the second leading coach all-time in career wins in Minnesota in Ken Novak. And you got a pretty good formula for success as Hopkins has their first win of the season. Ken Novak picks up career win number 969. He's 43 wins away from the all-time record and catching Bob McDonald in career wins for coaches in Minnesota. But Hopkins, too much speed and too many options on the outside. They take care of Totino Grace tonight, handing Totino their first loss of the season. So Hopkins moves to 1-0 on the year. Totino falls to 0-1. And our player of the game is Anthony Smith for the Hopkins Royals. It could have been Anthony Smith. It could have been Davey Hart. It could have been Jaden Moore. And honestly, it could have been Ahmad Nur. He was a huge spark off the bench tonight. So many options for Hopkins and for Coach Ken Novak. And we'll give the nod to Anthony Smith. So Hopkins finishes the game at 91-78 over Totino Grace. We thank you for joining us wherever you're watching us here on Carroll Evan Plus. We'll be back tomorrow night broadcasting from the Orono High School at 7 o'clock. Another 3A versus 4A. Some of the best teams in their respective classes. The Wayzata Trojans traveling to take on the Orono Spartans. Again, tomorrow night, we hope you join us at 7 o'clock. Well, for Super Stats Dave, on-site engineer Andy Globoker, I'm Brady Halbmeyer saying so long from Totino. We'll see you tomorrow night at Orono.